Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today for day 24 of the UK lockdown, where, once again, I'm out and about taking my daily exercise. It's currently about 7:30 in the morning as I'm making this video. No frost on the ground this morning, still a little bit of a chill in the air, but no doubt, as the day progresses, we will have sunshine and clear skies once again. And as I said in previous vlogs, it always helps with the old lockdown fever, doesn't it? Helps to prevent that cabin fever if you've got a garden or some open area privately that you can go and sit in and just relax and while the day away. So folks, day 24. Hope everyone out there is in good spirits and you're all well and keeping well as always. Big thank you to everybody yesterday who left comments on the vlog that I made, and many thanks to people who've given their theories on my theory regarding how all this started off. Seems not everyone agrees. Some people have said that I'm oversimplifying it basically by believing I'll just have to duck down here and get underneath these trees. It seems some of you are saying that I'm oversimplifying it by saying somebody maybe dropped a test tube or self-contaminated. Well, I probably was oversimplifying it a little bit. It was just so I could get my point across. But it does seem that I'm on the right track with that, because apparently the US have now launched an investigation into the lab at Wuhan to see if indeed an accident has happened. So it seems I'm not alone in my way of thinking. Who knows, maybe President Trump watched my video yesterday and thought, this guy's onto something. Sorry, Hot Potters, I was in my own little Monty Python sketch there, imagining him showing my video at one of his briefings to his staff. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, on to today. And what's in the news? Well, the idea of face masks are actually in the news. They've been debated a little bit. Some countries have now made it mandatory, where if you wish to go outside you need to wear a face mask. And it seems that the British government have been rather reluctant with this idea. They've not wanted to impose this on British people. But in some quarters there are now calls for the British to follow suit. And one of the champions of this is Keir Starmer, the new leader of the Labour Party. And he said that there's an argument for doing that, you know, people having to wear a mask now. Notwithstanding that getting PPE equipment such as face masks at this moment in time is very difficult, notwithstanding that problem, who's going to pay for these face masks, Keir? You know, what happens if you go back to work? Who pays for them then? Does your employer pay for them? Or do you pay for them? You know, that brings up a good question, doesn't it? And the scary thing about this is now, one of the chief medical officers has actually jumped on the bandwagon with this and said, yeah, you know, it is an idea. Not because it's based in any scientific reasoning or fact, but simply because it will reassure the public. Now, I don't know about you, Hot Potters, but when I see somebody coming towards me wearing a mask and they're covering this part of the face, I think I'm going to be mugged or something like that. It doesn't reassure me at all. And if it was based in scientific fact, then I'd go along with it. But to just simply reassure the public, we're back to that old thing as they used to do in the 1600s during the Great Plague. Put a clove of garlic in your pocket, or, you know, walk around with an onion around your neck. Are we going down that route? And if we are, that is very worrying, because it means that the scientific minds are just as lost as the rest of us with this lot. So I think that's a bit of a worrying development. But would you be willing to wear a mask to enable this lockdown to be lifted and so you could go out and about again? Now, another problem with that is, just thinking about it, if they do bring in that you have to wear a face mask, it's mandatory that you must wear one in order to go outside, that means that poorer families, those that are on lower incomes, may not be able to afford these masks. You know, so in other words, that is then a lockdown under another name, isn't it, really? You know, because their own financial situation will keep them, as they can't go out. And we'll see all kinds of things, I think, if they do bring it in as mandatory, because you'll see people making their own, unless, of course, there is a RIC-approved mask that you have to use, or simply people will be using masks that are ineffective. They'll be using dust masks. You know, I know that when I used to work in the building trade, dust masks used to cost money, and they would curb, you know, your employers, they would curb that you were going through too many. You know, I only bought you some yesterday, so people will start wearing them again. We might even see situations where family members are swapping it and using each other's. So no, I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest. If it was based in scientific fact, perhaps I would go along with it, as I'm sure many others would. But just because it'll reassure the public, no, that's the science of the bloody Middle Ages, that, you know. Let's give anything a try. Carry a stone in your pocket or something like that. No, I'm sorry, I'm not going along with that. And I'm surprised that even Nigel Farage, you know, who's seen by many as the architect of Brexit, he's jumped on the bandwagon and said, yeah, there's something in this, you know, let's go along with it. Now, either they know something we don't, the rest of us, or, you know, you can turn around to Nigel and say, you stick to Brexit, mate. You know, that's your forte, stick with that. Don't give us your opinions on anything else. It's proved that you're just a one-trick pony, really. Anyway, folks, I'll leave that, though, as I say, regarding face masks. Would you be willing to wear one as a mandatory measure in order to go out again? Because there's talk, some reports have emerged, and people have pointed it to me, that this lockdown period could go on for 18 months. Now, you have to think about this logically. This country is losing billions. It's lost billions. And it's cost the government, the Treasury, billions. You know, this, is it furloughed? I think that's how you pronounce it. They furloughed loads of people, and the government are now paying their wages. And it's just a sinkhole, basically. They're just like an hole in the sand. You throw money in it, it disappears. So they can't maintain that for 18 months. Also, there's other countries now that are considering relaxing the lockdown measures. So for us to be on like some full lockdown when everybody else isn't, I think British people are going to say, hang on a bit, there's something not right here. I think we need to start following suit, don't we? So I don't think the government will go down on that. Now, this particular minister that's supposedly come out with this statement, I don't know who it is. I haven't really looked into the story, but you'll probably find that they've been misquoted. They've probably come out with something like, for this to take full effect, we would need everyone to be on lockdown for 18 months. And straight away, the journalists have just heard lockdown for 18 months and ran out there and printed it. Now, that's usually how these things go, but no, you just have to think about that logically. The country could just not sustain that. Anyway, folks, I'm slowly, bloody hell, I've quickly come up to that 10-minute mark, haven't I, talking about face masks. But here's another one for you regarding face masks. Guess where 3 parts of this PPE equipment that we all use is made? It's made in China. So there's another thought for that one. Would you be willing to put a face mask across your mouth that has been made in China, where this bloody disease originated? Leave your thoughts and comments below, as always. Right, folks, I'm going to slowly wrap this one up because it's just a quick one, off the cuff, because Mrs H needs to get out and do a little bit of shopping. And there's something else that I've noticed when I've been tootling about. You notice how everybody's driving like a knob now? Because they can see an open road, they think the speed limits don't apply and they're on your tailpipe. Everyone rushing around to get to places they don't need to be. I'll leave it on that thought, folks. So until the next time, when it'll be day 25 of the UK lockdown, and I'll join you once again. Stay safe as always, and bye-bye for now.